Hi everybody, I'm back, and today I'm going to do it's going to be a part one of three parts really. I'm going to be looking at my Game Boy collection. So the first video will be looking at the original Game Boy, followed by the Game Boy Colour, and of course then get the Game Boy Advance. I would say it's probably about 30 games I still have on my want list for the Game Boy games across all three categories. But I've got quite a large collection of Game Boy games, all boxed and complete with their manuals, and some of them are still new and sealed. So with no further delay, shall we get started? So looking at the original Game Boy, and first of all, I have this on all the other platforms, and that is Alien 3. As people would have picked up on earlier videos, I am a bit of an Aliens fan. And if you have Alien 3, you have to have Alien vs Predator as well. And this is the last of his clan. It's a side-scrolling type game as opposed to a top-down one, which is what Alien 3 is. And as you can tell, it's playing in the background on the Retron 5. Okay, moving on from there to Batman. Sunsoft games. A lot of the Sunsoft games are classics. And then Beavis and Butthead. I do also have Beavis and Butthead on the Mega Drive and the SNES. And then this is quite an unusual Game Boy game. It comes with a special an adapter, so you can link up to 4 Game Boys in total. So you can race your friends, and that is Formula 1 race. This is quite a rare game to get complete, and so I went for the German copy, because the game still is in English language. It's just that all the packaging is in German. But you know, I'm quite happy to have that. It's all complete. Then moving on to Galaga and Galaxian. I love these games. I think these games are superb. One of my favourite arcade old school shooter type games. Much prefer it to Space Invaders and stuff. You know, I think Galaxian first class. And then again, this is a game I have on multiple platforms and so forth. This one's produced by Activision, and so I think it's similar to a European edition of the game on the Mega Drive, I think. But obviously it hasn't got the same graphics as Mega Drive, and that is Ghostbusters 2. And then I've got quite a rare game. I'm quite into my monster games, so to speak, particularly Japanese type ones, and this game is quite rare. It's all new and sealed. I think I can't remember if I got this from America or Germany, but it's all in English language anyway. But it's all new and sealed, so it's quite a collector piece, and that's Toho's Godzilla. Got those monsters on the bottom there. Little sort of baby Godzilla there. Cheesy but fun, yeah? Okay, so I had to have that for my collection. And moving on to from monsters to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusades. Whoops. Okay, and then Judge Dredd. This is probably, I haven't had a chance to play this yet, but I suspect it's going to be a lot better than the movie. Can't get it a lot worse. The remake of Judge Dredd, if anyone's not seen it, do see it, it's fantastic, I might add. But anyway, okay. And moving on to another classic, which is Metroid 2: The Return of Samus. Like I said, all these games are complete with manuals. And then the Prince of Persia. And then a bit fan of Robocop as well. And you have to have a sequel, Robocop 2. Okay, moving on to the S's. S is for the original Star Wars. A lot of people have seen this copy. This is for, I think this is for LucasArts copy version of the game. But there is a rarer game, and that is for Ubisoft version, which is this one. Different artwork, and the graphics are quite different. So I think it is a totally different game, but it's by Ubisoft. A lot of people didn't know that, did they, I guess? Okay, if you've got Star Wars, yeah, it makes sense to go on to the others. Empire Strikes Back. In my opinion, the best of all the films, Empire Strikes Back. Which, interesting, was never directed by George Lucas, was directed by someone who can actually direct, as opposed to doing unusual cut type scenes. Yeah. Okay, now still with the S's, we're going to move on to with the Simpsons, and this is Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly. And then Bart versus the Juggernauts, and Krusty's Funhouse. And what are we going to tease? The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Which I believe is the only Zelda game that came on the original Game Boy. Okay. Get on to the last 6 games for the Game Boy. The Amazing Spider-Man. This is a pretty bad game. And guess who it's made by? Let's see, can you see it? Where's the logo? Actually not, yeah it is. Yes, it's LJN. The Angry Video Game Nerd does some good reviews on the Spider-Man games, and he covers this quite extensively, and this is probably one of the worst Spider-Man games out there. Although probably the Atari 2600 one is even worse, but still, it's pretty poor. But I am Spider-Man. I am Spider-Man. I am a Spider-Man fan. I said I was Spider-Man. Okay, in my dreams. Right, Super Mario Land. Followed by Super Mario Land 2 for 6 golden coins. Okay, we've done Aliens, we've done Robocop, so what's next? Or Terminator, of course. So we have Terminator 2, Judgment Day, which is more of a side-scrolling type game. Unfortunately it's by LGN, so it's probably not very good. And also by LGN, it's more of a shooter type game. And that's Terminator 2, the arcade. But I do have this on the both the SNES and the Game Boy, and that's not a bad shooter actually. It's one of the better LGN games, believe it or not. And the last game I got on the Game Boy is Turok. Okay everybody, that's my original Game Boy collection. There will be other videos to follow quite shortly on my Game Boy Colour and then my Game Boy Advance collections. So until then, bye!